Have you ever been told, "You're too sensitive. You overthink everything. Why do you take things so personally?" Maybe you've heard it so many times that you started believing something was wrong with you. Maybe you've tried to toughen up, to care less, to feel less. But what if sensitivity isn't a flaw? What if it's actually a sign of a highly intelligent and deeply perceptive mind? Today, we're going to explore why sensitive people are often much smarter than they think, and why the world misunderstands them. And by the end of this video, you might see yourself in a completely different way. Sensitivity is not weakness, it's awareness. Most people assume intelligence means being logical, analytical, or good with numbers. But intelligence comes in many forms, and one of the most underestimated forms is emotional and perceptual intelligence. Sensitive people tend to notice things others miss. They pick up subtle tone changes in conversations. They sense when someone is uncomfortable, even if nothing is said. They feel shifts in atmosphere, mood, and tension almost instantly. While others see only what's obvious, sensitive minds read between the lines. This ability requires advanced brain processing. Your brain is constantly scanning emotional and social information, analyzing it, and predicting outcomes. That's not weakness. That's mental complexity. Your brain processes more information. Research shows that highly sensitive individuals process stimuli more deeply. When most people encounter information, their brain filters out what it considers irrelevant. But sensitive people filter less. More details enter awareness. More emotional and environmental signals get processed. This means your brain is constantly analyzing subtle information in the background. That's why crowded places feel overwhelming. That's why loud environments exhaust you. That's why intense social situations drain your energy. Your brain is doing more work. And more processing requires more intelligence. The truth about overthinking. Sensitive people are often accused of overthinking. But overthinking is often misunderstood. What looks like overthinking is actually deep thinking. Your brain wants understanding. It replays conversations to analyze meaning. It studies decisions to avoid future mistakes. It considers consequences before acting. While others move on quickly, your mind is still working through layers of information. Yes, this can feel exhausting. But it's also why sensitive people often develop strong intuition and insight. You notice patterns. You understand motivations. You sense when something doesn't feel right. That's not weakness. That's intelligence operating on a deeper level. Emotional intelligence is real intelligence. Sensitive people often have high emotional intelligence. They understand emotions, both their own and others. They can sense when someone is hurting, even if that person is pretending everything is fine. They recognize subtle emotional cues. They often become the person others go to for advice or comfort. Why? Because they understand feelings on a deeper level. And emotional intelligence predicts success in relationships, leadership, teamwork, and even career growth. People who understand emotions make better decisions. They build stronger connections. They avoid unnecessary conflict. And they see human behavior more clearly. Sensitivity and creativity are linked. Many artists, writers, musicians, and innovators share high sensitivity. Why? Because creativity requires perception. It requires noticing details others ignore. Sensitive people feel experiences deeply. They're moved by music, art, stories, and human experiences. Their emotional depth becomes creative power. Pain turns into art. Observation turns into ideas. Emotion turns into expression. So, if you feel things intensely, you may also possess strong creative intelligence. Why sensitive people often feel out of place? If sensitivity is such an advantage, why does it feel like a burden? Because modern society often rewards speed, toughness, and emotional detachment. Fast decisions, thick skin, constant stimulation. But sensitive people operate differently. They need time to process. They need emotional safety. They need environments that respect depth instead of constant pressure. So instead of feeling gifted, they feel overwhelmed. Instead of feeling intelligent, they feel misunderstood. It's not that sensitive people are weak. It's that many environments are built for different types of minds. Evolution needed sensitive minds. From an evolutionary perspective, groups needed different roles to survive. Some people acted quickly in danger, but others observed patterns, sensed threats early, and helped tribes make better long-term decisions. Sensitive individuals often played roles as observers and advisors. They noticed environmental changes. They sensed social tensions before conflict happened. They helped guide smarter choices. In other words, sensitive minds helped groups survive. And that ability required intelligence, perception, and awareness. Why sensitive people doubt themselves? Ironically, sensitive people often underestimate their intelligence because they question themselves. They analyze their mistakes. They replay situations in their minds. And they worry about how others perceive them. But this self-reflection is also a sign of intelligence. Less aware people rarely question their behavior. They rarely examine their decisions. They rarely seek growth. Sensitive minds constantly try to improve. And growth requires awareness. In today's world, sensitive people struggle even more online. They hesitate to post. They delete messages. They worry about judgment. Social media rewards loud voices and bold opinions. But sensitive minds think before speaking. They consider consequences. They don't want to hurt others. And they feel criticism deeply. But here's the truth. The world doesn't only need loud people. It also needs thoughtful people, listeners, observers, empaths, people who understand complexity. The real problem isn't sensitivity. The real problem isn't sensitivity. It's misunderstanding. Sensitive people are often told to toughen up instead of being taught how to use their strengths. Because sensitivity, when managed correctly, becomes better decision-making, stronger relationships, creative thinking, emotional awareness, and deeper understanding of life. The key isn't becoming less sensitive. The key is learning boundaries, choosing healthy environments, protecting your mental energy, and recognizing your value. So, if you've ever felt like you're too emotional, too sensitive, too thoughtful, too different, maybe the truth is, you're simply more aware, more perceptive, and smarter than you think. Your mind processes the world at a deeper level. You feel more because you understand more. And once you stop apologizing for your sensitivity, it becomes one of your greatest strengths. Because intelligence isn't always loud. Sometimes, it's quiet awareness.